a vibrating cloth or rotating roller. Today, I bring you this comparison, having tested many robots, and I am testing these, which are products of the 2025, to show you obviously the washing performance and answer you the fateful question. As you've seen from the title of the video and the preview, I'm here today because I want to take away a doubt, but I've also taken away a doubt since already in this year I've tested as many as 5 different robots. As you see here on the right, we have the Roborock Saros 10 and Saros 10R. The Saros 10, which is a top-end product, has a vibrating cloth. It made me say a little bit strange, but probably also to the users, because they wonder, but does the vibrating cloth still work, or is it an obsolete technology? While from here we have the latest technology in quotes that we can see on the robot, the rotating roller, so not even the rotating mops that are the most popular. So my question is, but actually a vibrating mop still makes sense in 2025, and who washes better between a vibrating mop and a rotary roller that theoretically on paper I like so much because it has 16 nozzles, has the continuous recirculation of dirty water and clean water from here. We have a system that is very advanced, but technically was among the first to be introduced on robots. I show you them in these tests I did at home, and the result is not as obvious as if. I'll first show you some Roborock Saros 10, which is a self-cleaning, self-draining robot with dirty water tank and clean water tank. The X8 Pro is also equipped with 2 water tanks, one for clean water and the other for dirty water, which are slightly larger in size. And then on the bottom, we can easily spot the dust bag, designed to be attachable in 2 distinct ways, providing convenience for use. That allows you to empty the dust collected by the robot to both of them, but both of them are equipped with automatic detergent dispensers, something that until recently was not. The use of robotics is widespread, but it is now gaining traction in dispensing devices too, slightly larger and a bit more spacious. We currently offer a black color option, but we need to introduce a white glossy surface alternative for the front as well. Excellent material quality for the Roborock, same thing also for the robot that we will see before. A little cheaper Ecovacs plastics that, however, in general are definitely better than in the past. I don't really like the opening type, a little less premium. All black plastics, however, definitely renewed compared to the past, as you see here instead. The dirty and clean water tanks are not integrated within the chassis. Instead, they are a separate component attached to the chassis. The depth on the Roborock Saros is always measured at around 45 centimeters. The measurement varies slightly, sometimes reaching about 43 centimeters. Narrower, though the Ecovacs, which is about 36 for the tower, which is a little bit higher, while here the height is 51 centimeters, which is 6 centimeters taller than 40, and 53 height. The cable management of the Saros 10 is excellent, as it includes an insert to shorten the cable. On the other hand, the Ecovacs lacks this feature entirely. Both bases have a wash and dry system, but they differ in temperature capability. While the Saros 10 can reach up to 75 degrees for washing cloths, the Ecovacs can achieve temperatures up to 80 degrees. For the 2 robots, on the other hand, we have similar dimensions in width, but totally different in height. 7.98 centimeter was designed with the retractable LiDAR that lowers obviously when it goes under sofas and other things. And 7.98 centimeters are really interesting. This is the real innovation. They allow this robot to go virtually everywhere versus 9.9. 9.9.9 approximately of Ecovacs, which already compared to many others has integrated everything here, but still remains 10 centimeters high. And it goes under the sofa, but under some other narrower part, it doesn't go through. The Saros 10 has this huge advantage later. I will also show you the system equipped with RGB camera light in case of darkness. And the 3D reactive system, which you can read about here. While same thing also. Different but similar technologies that also work on object recognition for Ecovacs, where here it also has integrated LiDAR. Both front brushes can be retracted, and they have a very similar operation roller. Even though they are referred to differently, they are equipped with an arm extension system. They incorporate duo divide technology, which ensures separate functioning. Ensure smooth suction to maximize efficiency and suction performance. Of hairs, especially long hairs, while here we have what is a little bit the more classic brush that sucks up everything, however, can a tricket system inside cutting of the razor blades. Roller, we said 16 nozzles, completely different system with continuous washing. And so let's see how they perform, but interesting to point out the suction and 22,000 Pascal. For the Roborock, that really strong. This text is possibly intended for this system due to its need for suction force to function effectively. It would leave, as happened, a little bit on the curves of the dirt in the center, while here we have 18,000 Pascal, which is still respectable on the frequent washing. I haven't noticed any particular problems on both. For example, here, the Saros 10 performs very well on the washing because it is precise. It goes and cleans all the areas it has to and still manages to sneak even into edges and corners. But the difference I notice is that it is extremely fast compared to all the other competitors, whereas the same test I did with the X8 Pro, which with the rotating roller still manages to perform a good cleaning but is slower too, manages with its navigation system to cover the whole bathroom floor. Let us now move on to a stronger test, sweetened coffee, left about 24 hours. You can notice is very slow Ecovacs X8 PRO. However, what I observed is that those who use the moat key and roller system appear to be just as noticeable. Therefore, it is important to consider the stain, which plays a key role in the test I conducted, as you can see. The stain tends to get rubbed a bit, but couldn't be removed despite using a roller the first time. This resulted in the floor also getting a little dirty. However, it should be noted that Ecovacs effectively identifies and recognizes the stains. And goes over it several times, still going to remove it, but leaving some coffee pupils, so it cleaned quite well, but not very well. There had to make several passes. Much, much faster, the vibrating cloth system, but I have noticed this in previous Roborocks as well. Is really very fast and immediately starts with cleaning. Now you will know the truth now. The stain is always 24 hours, is the same, a little smaller. But I will show you that. With just one swipe, he managed to remove nearly all of the stain. But it will obviously go over it again. However, what truly surprised me was the fact that the vibrating cloth proved to be considerably more efficient in just one go of the roller and also of the Motzi. The second test with the handkerchief, I show you that the handkerchief is also cleaner. Another test was done with coffee. I will clearly present to you a fully arid demonstration of what the robot did. He displayed a considerably slower pace in the process. However, it still managed to leave some residual grains scattered around, particularly in hard-to-reach areas where it struggled to pick them up effectively. Additionally, it also failed to completely remove a few lumps of moistened coffee. Same test with Saros 10, which was also much more powerful in terms of suction and leaves significantly less residue. A small amount of residue persisted on the left side, although it improved significantly. However, when performing the suction test on the carpets, both devices successfully eliminated all the debris. Same test done with the Saros 10. However, there is to note, I want to remind you that he detaches the vibrating cloth, so as if on the robot with the mochi, detaches the mochi, can be very useful to not go, to say moisten the carpets. I show you that the 22,000 pascals of the suction is impressive in this case, and it really pulls everything off in an extremely, that I said, heck. However, both are very good products. Applications with mapping that is accurate for both Roborock, however, it also sees outside from the windows a little more complete. With the wash suite for the Roborocks that allows for more options, and if you just go on the wash, there are as many as 4 different paths, while on the X8 we have more sensitivity on the water flow rate of the wash. Long hair test for X8 quietly passed. It still manages to vacuum long hair. Same thing for the Roborock, which succeeds without any problem. Well, what can I say from this test? I realize that you don't have to take anything for granted. Very performing, the Saros 10 with vibrating cloth. I was pleasantly surprised by the impressive performance of a vibrating cloth. I had not expected it to work so well. This reminded me of previous instances where I also noticed its effectiveness in removing shoe stains. Where the vibrating cloth was going to remove even the most stubborn stains, it also succeeds, but needs to make more passes. The Saros, in this comparison, at least in this test, was definitely better also for vacuuming where it doesn't leave crumbs or spread everywhere around the house. Please share your thoughts with me in regards to this matter. Refine my trials for detecting obstacles better. Many objects were not recognized, and both one and the other. They have relocated a few cables as well as a few sets of car keys. Definitely there is room for software improvement. Share your thoughts on how we can make it better. Here is the link to both discounted products currently available. Take advantage of this opportunity.